This is called Self-Esteem Fix. And we're going to use the Sabian Symbols Oracle. We're going to use Divine Animal Oracle. We're going to talk to Leo Buscaglia. Okay, so the first thing we want to know is what has knocked down your self-esteem? So we have 5 degrees Libra, a man teaching the true inner knowledge of the new world to his students. 16 degrees Gemini, 16 degrees Gemini, she said, a woman activist in an emotional speech dramatizing her cause. And then we have 6 degrees Scorpio, a gold rush tears men away from their native soil. So 6 degrees Scorpio is about the passionate quest for universal values. And then it says destructive of cultural ease of living, which is it's kind of a clumsy sentence altogether. What I get from this is that cultural ease of living would be possibly the accepted way of life that includes all of the modern conveniences, possibly even modern conveniences that might be a bit excessive. And so the passionate quest for universal values, I feel, would be like a quest to find that which is universal or basic in the essence of all without giving too much mind to how that fits into the modern cultural ideal of ease of living, like not caring how that quest, like the quest is the most important thing, and if it messes up somebody's like poodle grooming appointment or something, the truth is more important. That's kind of the feel I get from that. If you have a poodle and you get it groomed, I mean, no offense, just know it's just an example. It says fulfillment of hopes and dreams and cause of mission. It's about promises, it's about gold rushes, jobs that hold allure, pilgrimages, the Holy Grail, and just on the converse side, thinking that the grass is greener elsewhere. 16 degrees Gemini, it's about rising of the human soul and demand for recognition, self assertion, stating your case, wanting people to listen or care. The fact that we've got passionate quest for universality or universal values leaping into opportunity. We've got activism mentioned here with the woman and her dramatic speech. It seems like whatever the quest is, whatever you have been searching for or trying for, goes beyond yourself. It actually impacts other people in a way that is very significant. There's earnestness that I feel in this energy, and sincerity and humility. Also, a feeling of not being heard, like you have something important to say and no one is listening. 5 degrees Libra, a man teaching the true inner knowledge of the new world to students. Knowledge and experience put to the test. Greatness calling its own to itself. Ordered seeking and distrust of appearances. Looking within. Being a guiding light. Seeking the truth. Teachers of the new world. Having the answers that others lack. And then conversely, it is about sort of a hive mind mentality, the arrogance of thinking that you already have all the answers and that there's no new information anywhere that is useful. It's conversely about gurus and cult dogma. I feel like that been trying to be heard, and you have something that is important to get out there, and you're meeting with resistance. You're meeting with resistance and obstacles. And it's not because what you have to give is deficient in any way. The problem here is that there are forces outside of yourself, forces that depend on certain structures that actually aren't valid anymore and that actually drag the culture as a whole backwards because they're structured towards ease of certain segments living instead of being structured for the good of all. That's just my filming light, but I'm not going to let that stand in the way of this. We're just going to continue on in the dark. And I think that that's actually meaningful. Because you're a guiding light, but who's being your guiding light? Are you being made to continue on in the dark? Basically, I feel like the problem is you're not getting any respect. Excuse me. So, how are you vulnerable to this change in your self-image? We've got 3 degrees Capricorn. The human soul, in its eagerness for new experiences, seeks embodiment. And then we have 21 degrees Taurus. Moving finger points to significant passages in a book. So 3 degrees Capricorn is about the inner and pure motivation. The power to remain superior to your physical limits, physical limitations, to lack of resources, allowing things that limit you to restrict your will. It's about inner motivation. So those limitations have not really been something that has made you think, okay, this is impossible. You just sort of have been moving through them, very determined. It's about expressing yourself. It's about reincarnation. It's about the story of Christ and the Immaculate Conception, apparently. Reincarnation, being born again, and you're a guiding light, as we've seen over here. So you are a divine being. You are here for a purpose. You are here to improve the earth. So the fact that people are knocking down your self-esteem is, I would say it's patently bullshit. I don't know if there's a patent on bullshit. If there is, it's probably a very widely shared patent, I would imagine. But yeah, and you've been trudging forth anyway. You've been continuing anyway. You've been following your biological imperative, the imperative of your soul. You're here to do good. You're here to be a good influence on this world. And why some people would want to fight that, you got me. I have no idea. And I'm sure that you don't either. 21 degrees Taurus, moving finger, points to significant passages in a book, symbol of spiritual discrimination, of capacity for getting to the heart of any matter, good memory, perspicacity, looking for clues, manuals, oracles, synchronicities, passages that reflect life. The converse of this is going only by the book, having automated responses, religious fundamentalism, keeping tallies, keeping score, you owe me kind of shit is the opposite of that. And the opposite of that is not what you are. You're not a you owe me type person. It's kind of a natural progression of thought, I think, to assume that whoever is trying to knock down your self-esteem or has in the past, obviously that's opposing force to you. And so it would also be fairly obvious that whoever is doing this then, because you are in the area where you're trying to do good, where you are a guiding light, you got the bean counters and the rule makers, the scorekeepers. Although it may be inexplicable to you why anyone would want to damage or cause harm or prevent the manifestation of a being who is here to help others, to make everyone's life better in some way. It's the oldest story, isn't it? Good versus evil, the shadow versus the light. Only this isn't really the shadow. The shadow is more us. The shadow is part of us. The shadow is part of the light. You can't have light without shadow. What we are dealing with in individuals or entities that try to drag you down, we are dealing with the void. We are dealing with the abyss. It's not the abyss that lies within us that we all must resolve for ourselves as human beings, as part of the human condition and the human struggle. It is the abyss that seeks to drag us off of that path. Ultimately, it becomes a thing between creators and consumers. You're over here creating. And over on this side, you've got some diehard consumers who must have taken some sort of Rip Van Winkle nap or something and woke up with the misapprehension that they were creators. But the way that they define creation is by cannibalizing that which creates, if that's helpful. Basically, what made you vulnerable to this? Your goodness. Par for the course for being a guiding light in this world. Some people are going to want to shut that light off. I use the term people loosely. What do you need to know about this incorrect view that you've been given? So we have 8 degrees Leo. Glass blowers shape beautiful vases with controlled breathing. And then we have 28 degrees Aries, a large disappointed audience. So 8 degrees Leo, leavening of the inchoate materials of a new order by a forceful vision, born of repression and misfortune. Revolution. See, guiding lights are here to bring a revolution, to free shackled energy, to set right things that are off balance. That which unbalances things will naturally not like that. You've been repressed. You've been deprived. You have been unwavering and unbending. You have not given in to this energy, this fundamentalist, tantrum throwing, terrorizing, obsessive, propagandist energy. And that sheds new light on things that are meaningful and that have been lost and oppressed by this darkness. You are being fearless in facing facts. The elements and factions that are against you only thrive on fear. And the example of you being fearless actually makes them afraid because you're showing people it can be done. You are setting a precedent. You're setting a precedent that these forces who thrive off of refusing others entry, refusing others a seat, who thrive on illusions, who want us all to be spectators in our own lives, you freak these people out. And would you be surprised if they view you actually as evil, even though you are anything but? Isn't that something? And you would think, when it comes to like fundamentalism, fundamental is like a word that means like something that affects us all. It means something that's like, well, I mean, kind of, it's supposed to mean like, basic, like building block sort of thing. But actual fundamentalists don't really build, they tear down. And that's really odd to me. But then it's odd to me that good people are consistently called evil. And so fearfully so by people who purport themselves to be protected by the divine because they follow all these rules. It's odd. You would think that a fundamentalist would be the last person that would be fear mongering about things that are evil because they would be so protected, right? And yet, these people expect you to rely on feedback for your self-esteem, your self-image, because that's what they do. They expect you to look outside of yourself for guidance because that's what they do. You don't do that. Any incorrect view of yourself that you have gotten because of what is obviously a great big expanse of bullshit that's been thrown your way, you must know that it is because of these reasons, dare I even say these fundamental reasons here, that's why this view has been thrown on you. It is not valid. It is not correct. It's a strategy. Tune them out. They got nothing new to say anyway. What do you need to remember about yourself that you've momentarily forgotten? That you have momentarily forgotten for those of us in enunciation. Okay. So we have 26 degrees Libra. an eagle, and a large white dove turning into each other. That's neat. 19 degrees Gemini. A large archaic volume reveals a traditional wisdom. 1 degree Virgo. In a portrait, the best of a man's features and traits are idealized. 2 degrees Virgo. A large white cross dominating the landscape stands alone on top of a high hill. 14 degrees Leo. Cherub-like, a human soul whispers, seeking to manifest. 1 degree Pisces. 1 degree Pisces. Let's all move down here. Thank you. Okay. A crowded public marketplace. And then 25 degrees Aquarius. A butterfly with the right wing more perfectly formed. And then your divine animal card is Orca Whale. Adventure. Dare to do things differently. Sing your wild song. Manifest your travel dreams. Attempt the great journey with confidence. Be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. Well, honestly, you're already loyal and you're already brave. You may or may not have people that you can fall back on. Not all of us do. And that's something that I really wish a lot more readers would take into consideration when doing readings, is that not everybody has friends or family. Not everybody has anyone at all. If you're in that position, I'm going to say to you, ironically, you're not alone. I am in that position as well. So know that if you cannot hold hope for yourself, that your life is going to bring you some glorious adventure with many, many companions and many friends. I hold that hope for you. You would not be here as a guiding light on this earth and expected to be completely alone. As much as it may seem like that sometimes, that is not the case. 25 degrees Aquarius, a butterfly with the right wing more perfectly formed. Necessary advance of volition over reflex elements. Willing approach to problems of being. Fitting to alien ideas. Choice, rising above life's distortions. The need to bring balance. You have an ability to rise above life's distortions. And much of your perfection is found in your imperfections. Because of the way that you are able to rise above life's distortions. Despite human flaws, which we all have, they simply vary from individual to individual. Because you are able to do that and work through the obstacles that your own imperfections would bring to you, you help others. You help others be able to approach basic problems of being. Problems of being that we have not in recent history, or any history really, because there's a thing as momentum, and here we all sit at this point in time. We have not been given tools, or if we have been, they've been taken away and hidden. We haven't been given those tools to have a willing, positive, optimistic approach to these basic problems of being, which we all have. And there is a reason for that. If we did have those tools and we were able to do those things for ourselves, then that would eliminate the need for a lot of what we are sold on a daily basis, what we are told on a daily basis. It's a lot more difficult to sell things to people who can solve their own problems. 26 degrees Libra, an eagle and a large white dove turning into each other. Necessary cooperation between mind, will, spirit, and heart love. Power of psychological balance and compensation. unity, tempering one's will with love, and bolstering up one's emotional responses with strength, being strong and soft. That is what you are. You are not hard. You are not jagged. You are not serrated. You are soft. And that softness is what leads other people to think that their efforts to tear you down will be ultimately successful. Like the saying goes, they mistake your kindness for weakness. That is probably the worst mistake they could ever make. So remember that too. Your immense strength. It's very, very convenient for them to try to convince you that you are not strong. That's pretty much the only way they can beat you. They have to convince you you are not what you are. Deep down, you know what you are. You know that you are a guiding light to others. 19 degrees Gemini, a large archaic volume, reveals the traditional wisdom, reserve of collective wisdom and knowledge beyond true individual self expression. Deference to past experience, reading, studying, learning, collective knowledge and wisdom from ancient sources, Akashic records, oracles, old books, and enormous potential. We're getting a lot of messages here that deal with reincarnation, that deal with past lives, that deal with ancient wisdom, traditional wisdom, wisdom that has been hidden, obscured, stolen, and destroyed. The thing is, though, information wants to be free, and you are a container for a lot of ancient wisdom. This makes you dangerous. Those who oppose you, some of them know this, I think. I think some of them are ignorant of that fact, and, well, the fact of the matter is that you're an old soul. You're a very old soul. Some of the wisdom you have is going to go over some people's heads. The wisdom you have will not be able to reach everybody, but the thing is that it will be able to reach certain individuals who will then be able to parse that wisdom in such a way as to benefit the people in their collective, let's say. Because you have your collective of like minds, even if they are nowhere near you at the present moment, even if you feel completely alone. They do exist on earth, but in the spirit realm as well. Those in the spirit realm watch out for you. They guide you. You may not even know it sometimes because sometimes it's a seamless process. Sometimes it's not apparent that you're getting guidance from another realm. You just get what seems like a fabulous fucking idea that works out beautifully. I really don't think that you are aware of how much wisdom there is within you, how much there is in your soul to be expressed, how much you came here to this incarnation with to give to others. And I think that that is because of these opposing forces. I think that that's by design, because if they can distract you, then they can prevent you. If they can distract you from your purpose, they can prevent you from carrying it out. And one of the most favorite distractions of the world we live in is to get you to focus on your external, whether that's your appearance or the image that others have of you, or what on the outside you do not currently have, whether that be support, whether that be actual material resources, affection from others, whether it be all of that. They want you to focus on the whole and not the donut. But see, they look at a donut and they see the hole and they see negative space. You look at the donut and you see the hole, and you know that that other piece of dough still exists somewhere. It's off being a donut hole. You just don't see it. It still exists. It's not like it was never there. But the thing is that some people don't believe in anything that they can't see. And the sad thing about that is their vision isn't that great to begin with. So they really let themselves out of a lot of stuff that is actual and real and that could help them that they're blind to. Your light is too bright for some people. Don't dim it. Just hope that their eyes adjust to it. When people have been in the dark for a very long time, light hurts their eyes. They can't take it. They're going to try and get it to stop because it hurts. And they're not going to be nice about it most of the time because they're in pain. And that's the thing that is really difficult to remember about people who hurt you is that ultimately they do it out of blind pain. 1 degrees Virgo. In a portrait, the best of a man's features and traits are idealized. The shaping power of idea or ideal, completeness of realization, pure aggrandizement, intent, idealizing people or situations, oddly, hairstyles, taking people at face value, photography, face reading, visual cues. Who you are is visible in your face, it's visible in your eyes, it is visible in the way you carry yourself. Who you are forces people to up their game to be better. Not everybody likes that. Not everybody wants that wake up call. You can read people. You can remember things about people. I don't think that you always clue them into that fact, though. I don't think that they're aware of how much you do notice and how much you do remember. They'd actually probably be kind of freaked out by that also. 2 degrees Virgo, a large white cross dominating the landscape, stands alone on top of a high hill. Dominance of environment through individualistic self-realization, full self-assurance. The fear and wonder of God, monuments to pain and suffering, reminders of faith, places of redemption, isolation. All of that seems rather fitting because we got a large white cross dominating the landscape, standing alone on the top of a high hill, pedestal. Cross is a symbol of a lot of things, but mostly it's associated with crucifixion. Brings to mind the Bill Hicks bit about Jesus not wanting to return until people started wearing loaves and fishes. Dominance of environment, eminence at the cost of struggle. I don't know. I just heard, happiness through suffering, and that's just because I associated it with that saying happiness through slavery. That's what it was. I misunderstood what it was. Thank you. Thank you. That actually makes a lot more sense to me because it makes me think of Viktor Frankl and how he kept his joy, even in a concentration camp. He refused to let them steal his joy. There's a great power in that. I feel like God hears that. I feel like the universe feels that. I feel like having an indomitable spirit lets them know, shines out like a beacon to the divine, and means so much because that is the ultimate show of faith. To refuse to let other people steal your joy, that is the ultimate show of faith. You don't have to go to church to show that. You don't have to have a middleman between you and God. You know that God is taking care of you. You know that God's not going to let you down. And that's what these people fear too. Because if you already have your development of relationship with God, if you already have an in with God, if you and God are already buddies and tight, What do you need them for? 14 degrees Leo. Cherub like, a human soul whispers, seeking to manifest. The desire to be, to suffer and to grow, which brings spirit to earth. You are bringing spirit to earth. You are a bridge. You are a bridge between heaven and earth. You are a bridge to bring heaven to earth. You are a tool of the divine, as well as being much beloved by the divine. I mean, cherub-like. You're an earth angel. Know that. Know that you are an earth angel. And I just got confirmation from my fridge because it makes loud pops at very meaningful moments. Zero, zero, zero. Okay, 1 degrees Pisces. What is this? 0 dark 30. Okay, 1 degrees Pisces. A crowded public marketplace. The social nature of human responsibilities. Last moment joyous rallying to a task. Seed synthesis at the end of cycles. You are at the end of a cycle here, and that's why it's so bumpy. We've got crowds, signs, races, competition, internet, publishing, communications, human interchange. A lot of puzzle pieces are falling into place for a lot of people at the moment. A lot of energies are shifting. A lot of things are going to be occurring. There is going to be a flurry of communication. I just got another confirmation on that. Some people are going to get really freaking, well, I mean, I'm looking at cheap displays. And what I want to say about that is do not be taken in by cheap displays. Do not be taken in by over-exaggerated emotionality. Over-exaggerated emotionality does not provide valuable information. If somebody comes at you lobbing a whole bunch of bullshit energy at you, a whole bunch of screaming or drama or what have you, shut it down immediately. Remove yourself from it immediately because there is nothing there. They are just trying to get you trapped in a hamster wheel. Whether that is deliberately, consciously, unconsciously, it does not matter. Just get away from it because what that is chaos generation. What matters is what is in your good heart and not how you fit into the bullshit people's controlled narrative. How can you see yourself with more love and compassion? We have 13 degrees Taurus, a porter carrying heavy baggage. 22 degrees Pisces, a prophet bringing down the new law from Mount Sinai. 8 degrees Sagittarius, deep within depths of the earth, new elements are being formed. 30 degrees Taurus, a peacock parading on the terrace of an old castle. 5 degrees Gemini, a radical magazine asking for action, displays a sensational front page. 6 degrees Gemini, workmen drilling for oil. 6 degrees Gemini is about the drive to go deep, paying attention to your dreams, being determined to find the answers. And that is who you are and what you do. And it's not always easy on you. It's not always easy being the thing that drills down into the unknown. And I think that you need to remember that. I think that it will help you look at yourself with more love and compassion simply by admitting it is a good thing that you do. And it is a good thing that is not easy. And because it is a good thing that is not easy, it is impossible for you to look like a perfect being 24/7. It is impossible for anybody who has people working against them to put off a flawless presentation. That's all right because it's not about a flawless presentation. 5 degrees Gemini, a radical magazine asking for action, displays a sensational front page. Social propaganda and a need for reform. You can view yourself as a being that deserves more love and compassion from yourself by seeing that so much of the oppression and the bullshit that is lobbed your way isn't even on a completely personal level, because there is that need for reform, because there is so much social propaganda. It is lobbed at people every moment of every day. And it is fed into by the people as well, by allowing our feed to determine the contents of our thoughts at any given moment. A peacock parading on the terrace of an old castle is the signifier of 30 degrees Taurus, personal magnificence or unconscious splendor. Unconscious splendor. You are splendor embodied, but you are splendor that is hidden from itself. Because again, it's not about us looking at ourselves from the outside. If we were meant to be like that, then we would probably have eyes on very long stalks that turned around and went back this way. Don't take any criticism from something before you examine whether it's valid or not. Because we tend to have in this society, we have things lobbed at us. We're hypnotized into thinking that the mere fact that it was brought up validates it. That is incorrect. 8 degrees Sag. Deep within the depths of the earth, new elements are being formed. Irresistible determination. Determination to be. Infinite capacity for hard work. Crystallization of purpose and will. Deep elemental processes. Change. This healing. The many forms of improvement. You're a template. You are a walking template. You upload to the unified field. You upload even to the Akashic records. You're not just a bridge to bring spirit down to earth. You are a bridge to bring earth up to spirit. You are a conduit. You are a very important link. You're part of bringing new things into existence. You're part of bringing new ways of life to people. You're part of stirring up the old memories, giving them new life, and giving them relevance for the society today as it is. New elements are being formed. The fifth element, fabulous movie. The fifth element is love. The fifth element of love. Love is also the most powerful energy in the universe. Albert Einstein wrote a letter to his daughter explaining that to her. You're part of bringing this into form. You're part of bringing this new idea of love to an actual form, a physical form on earth, a tangible form, a form that can be felt, a form that can even be seen. And see, that's the thing, is that's part of your light, is that love, and people can absolutely see it, and that is why some of them attack you, because you embody love. And so if you are feeling like you are getting not enough love from this world, and I am feeling that for sure, I am feeling that you are not getting the love that you deserve from this world. Okay, I'm hearing, first off, you will. Secondly, in the meantime, you're getting it from the spirit realm. You're getting it from Mother Nature. You're getting it from all the plants and the flowers and the trees and the air and the sunshine, especially the sunshine and the moonlight, from the waters, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. Okay, that's very, thank you, DJ Spirit. Sorry, that's just, I get the piss taken out of me sometimes, because it's like, all right, come on. A prophet bringing down the new law from Mount Sinai. See, and they're going to make me upload this too, because you need this reading. So I'm just like, Yeah, I'm a vessel. Man's success in meeting the challenge of a new order. Codification of new virtues. Holding oneself to the highest standards. Revelations. That's like the second or third time Revelations has come out. Channeling information. Truths revealed. The Bible. The Quran. The Torah. The Ten Commandments. Laying down the law. The Ark of the Covenant. Oh, I just got a really big confirmation on the fridge there. So we've got the Immaculate Conception. We've got the Second Coming of Christ. We've got Revelation several times. We've got the Holy Grail. We've got the Ark of the Covenant. I would say that you could probably show yourself a little more love and compassion by looking at all the major stuff that is coming out in this reading and seeing who you are. Seeing who you really are. You're a being of light. And that's why people come after you. And the Most High is coming through this reading to tell you that. To tell you that you are loved beyond measure. And the lack of compassion you find all around you is an illusion. It is illusion designed to break your heart so that you won't be able to be love. See, they mistakenly think that if they break your heart, they can prevent you from being the embodiment of love. They mistakenly think that. And the secret they don't know about you is that you regenerate faster than a lizard that's lost its tail. Archangel Raphael wants me to also mention that you've got him healing you. 13 degrees Taurus, a porter carrying heavy baggage. Joy of effort put forth. Faith in the eventual results. Simple plunging ahead into things. Extreme of self-reliance. You're stronger than you know. Not only been to hell and back, but made several trips. The weight that you have been carrying is about to get lighter. All the striving that you have done towards this moment in time, is going to pay off. I feel like you have had no one except yourself to give you sustenance, that you have taken it from the culture, from your surroundings where you've been able to, but none of it has been tailored specifically to you, except for the sustenance that you have been unknowingly getting from the divine. And I say unknowingly getting from the divine because it may be difficult at times to feel like you truly are a being who is watched over by the divine. But just know that's how heavy that load is. That's how much help you have needed. It is still there. It's just the load is that heavy at that moment. And that's where faith comes in. You deserve love. You deserve compassion. And you deserve that from yourself. And I'm hoping, even though I didn't give you like a specific, well, here's one. Appreciate your beauty because you're beautiful. I'm saying that because the peacock here. Personal magnificence. You are magnificent. Some elements don't want you to know that. So I don't know if that was an answer to that question, but I hope that maybe it like at least boosted you up a little bit. Maybe we'll find the answer to the question in the unicorn cards. So we have Ram, perseverance. Lynx, keeper of secrets. Peacock, vibrancy. Haha, peacock again. Penguin, authentic. Humpback whale, singer. Sing more, dance more, play more. Do what you can to keep your vibe up. You are an authentic person. in a world where authenticity is so often punished. See, if we're all allowed to be different, then they can't make all the money that they make in trying to hold us to some bullshit standardized ideal. Vibrancy. You're a beautiful soul. You're a beautiful person, inside and out. And the vividness of your colors brings life to this world. And you're also a keeper of secrets. People outside of you don't have to validate what you know. You know what you know. You know what is true. You know when something doesn't feel right and when it does. You know what aha feels like. Let yourself trust your first thought. Let yourself trust your intuition. Perseverance. You have many gifts. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. With patience, you can reach your mountaintop. Never give up, and good luck will follow. So persevere. Do not give up. If you find yourself starting to talk badly to yourself because of the things that you have gone through, do whatever you can to immediately halt that momentum, to quiet that voice. Likely that is not your thoughts, actually. I know that sounds strange, but more than likely you're picking up on other people's thoughts, other people's energy. Because there is so much divinity coming out in this reading. You are highly, highly, highly empathic. You are also likely somebody that cleanses the energy of other people, which will naturally attract energy vampires to you. Because they have all this rotten, gross energy. And if they can engage you in it somehow, they filter it through you. It's almost like dialysis. And that's why you need to step away from people like that, because you will continue to be depleted. You will continue to be deprived. You will continue to be in this mindset where you're clouded by the thoughts of others. Your soul doesn't believe anything bad about you. Not for one moment. I don't care what the reasoning is behind justifying the validity of some bad bullshit thing that somebody has said. Your soul doesn't believe any of that. And that is why you feel terrible when people say certain things to you, or when you hear certain things about yourself from others. When they give you certain impressions. It's because your soul is in there screaming, no, they're fucking wrong. They're liars. Don't listen. But we've been conditioned to think that feeling is guilt, that feeling is shame. No, it isn't. It isn't at all. So the last question here is, what should you remember when those old tapes start playing in your head and when you start hearing that bullshit? What do you need to remember if you start having flashbacks of past cruelties or what have you? What is it that will help you stop those tapes? 24 degrees Aquarius. A man turning his back on his passions teaches deep wisdom from his experience. Utilization of experience and passion by the intelligence that remains uninvolved. Remain uninvolved. Detach yourself from feeling like any concerns that those old files bring up are valid. Detach yourself so you can just be like, oh, that old noise again, whatever. Yeah. Have fun with your loop, and just let it have its loop. Go back there, loop. Go to people who enjoy playing around with loops. And I don't mean the Sonic kind. I mean the hamster wheel bullshit kind. 26 degrees Pisces. A new moon reveals that it's time for people to go ahead with their different projects. Polyphony of values as man lives at various levels of consciousness. Inner call to realization, transmutation of meaning, diversifying. Transmutation of meaning. I like that. Because when those old tapes start playing, you don't need to just transmute the energy. Transmute the meaning. Break it down. Don't take it as being authority says this, which must be right because it's authority and it's being said by authority because it's right. No. Take it into a different equation. Take it into purported authority says this. Why do they think they're an authority? What is this really saying? Why are they really saying this? And then when you find the true meaning of that, find a way to turn that into a compliment for yourself. Even if it's just the compliment of this so-called authority, no offense to divine animals, is taking their time and their energy and placing it on you. They could be doing something for themselves, and they're not. And it's kind of funny. They'd rather knock you down than, like, I don't know, go have sex or take a bubble bath or have a good meal or 10 degrees Scorpio. A fellowship supper reunites old comrades. Companionship rooted in past performance. Group personality emerges. Fraternity of ideals. Uplifting individual efforts. I think this says a couple of things. I think the first thing it says is that there's a possibility that you may reunite with somebody that you consider to be a comrade, or you may meet a person or people who feel like you have known them in other lives. But in any way that this goes, I think that it means that there is a sense of companionship that you may have felt or may have seen on the shoreline in the distance in the past that never quite sailed into harbor. A time for that is coming. You are not going to be in this space of feeling isolated and alone and without support forever. 27 degrees Virgo, the aristocrats. Okay. Aristocratic elderly ladies drinking afternoon tea in a wealthy home. Don't eat cookies from them. Okay, I'm just gonna go on. I just got this whole arsenic and old lace thing off of that, but all right. Preservation of social and cultural values. Inward unobtrusive superiority, or else pure smugness. Prestige of position. Quiet knowing. Special privileges. Well, that's a nice way to say this. You're royal. You're an aristocrat. That's an old, it's old cartoon, but no, it's really, no, you are made, it sounds so bizarre if I'm saying it, they're telling you, you are made of fine human material, apparently. As humans go, I'm hearing, you're pretty tops. You come from a good bloodline. A bloodline that has heart. A bloodline that cares about other bloodlines and doesn't try to eradicate them. 29 degrees Cancer. A Greek muse weighing newborn twins in golden scales. The revelation, cough, cough, hi, there's that word again, of latent worth of all things through the power of creative imagination. Piercing beyond appearances. Look beyond the surface of any bad message that might be sent your way. 3 degrees Aquarius. A deserter from the Navy. Ability to regroup past experience and turn it to account. Sharp self-examination. Awakened new fearlessness. Decision and rebellion. What does this say? There's one last thing I need. Leaving, although allegiance was pledged. Jumping ship. Wrestling with one's conscience. Going AWOL. The thing about deserting the military, I feel like, is if you don't want to be there, how much of a help are you to the forces? How much do you belong there if you don't want to be there? Because it seems like somebody that doesn't really want to be there would have just enough information because they're resisting a lot of the information because they don't want to be there, so they're not going to be in full hog, right? It seems like they know just enough to get the rest of the troops killed. It's dangerous to be anywhere you don't want to be. And why I say it's dangerous is because your soul is going to fight to get you out of that. Even if you're fighting against your soul's desire to get out of that, it's still going to come through. They just started some stuff outside, so I think a motorcycle or something. But you have to have your whole heart in things, and they have to be the right things, and they have to be things you agree with. Okay, and then we have Elk Nobility. Celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless, and it is. It is. And see this too. He has these horns, and he can gore the living daylights out of somebody if he so chooses, if he puts his head down and charges forward. But he's looking upward. He's looking upward. He's looking to loftier things. Dear love, be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. You are love, and you deserve love. And I'm hearing the beep 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 outside. And that's usually when something's backing up. I assume that it's the dumpster truck going for the dumpster. And it reminds me too of being reunited with comrades, with that feeling of companionship. So it's like I'm hearing like, let's back up now. Like maybe there was a decision made somehow that you weren't meant to be happy. Or there was a decision made at some point in life where you didn't deserve what other people deserve. And I feel like the universe is backing up on that, saying, no, 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 no. We got to go back and fix that. No, because that was not correct. That is a house built on a weak foundation, because this is one of ours. This is goodness and light, and should not be labeled as anything but. You are goodness, you are light, you are love. Whoever has attempted to convince you of the opposite is eternally wrong. Leo says, Leo Buscaglia, if your path is love, the goal is unimportant. The process will have heart. No matter what you choose to do, no matter what direction you go in life, no matter who you bring with you, if there is love there, the process will have heart. It will be valid. It will be true. There is a Hindu tale about a man in a small boat rowing up a fast-flowing river against the current. After a great battle, he discovers the effort is futile. So he gives up his oars and begins to sing. This moment teaches him a new way of life. Only when he goes with the changing river is man truly free. You flow with the changing river. You are the changing river. You are the flow. Your soul knows the direction you need to go in. And your soul knows your true worth. So that is the authority that you must listen to. Your ideals are not silly or unrealistic. Your hopes and dreams are not in vain. Allow yourself to embrace them with faith, knowing that you are so loved by the universe, by the divine, and by souls that are just waiting to meet you, that incarnated here in this lifetime, just to have the experience to be with you. Love is learned best in wonder, in joy, in peace, in living. Don't allow what other people have said or made you think about yourself to steal your wonder, to steal your joy, to steal your peace, or to steal your life. You are here to create, to be free, to be happy. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be loved. Don't believe the bullshit. It's all designed to keep you from yourself. You are exactly as you are intended to be. There is not a thing wrong with you. I'm guided to get out a card from Archangel Michael, just to give, whoops, haha, that's fun. Give you a parting card here. Okay, we've got go forward fearlessly on the second cut. I didn't see what the first cut was, so I apologize about that. Take your time making this decision. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly on the bottom of the deck. Okay, Michael, my friend Michael, what you got to say to our viewer here? You created this situation and you have the power to change it. Michael says that you can lean on his strength and guidance to create peace and blessings for everyone involved according to divine will. And you created this situation and you have the power to change it. It's not meant to be an admonishment. It is not meant to be, well, you made your bed, now you can lie in it or whatever sort of thing. It's to explain to you that you do have more power than you realize to change things. Even though sometimes that's hard to hear, because we can be in situations where we feel powerless and where we feel like we don't have the resources to change anything. But sometimes just changing the energy that you bring to a situation will start the ball rolling to open up the avenues where you can actually physically manifest that change. In fact, that's the only way that the ball gets rolling. That's the only way they open the lanes. Michael is showing me bowling. Okay. So like in this picture here, we have a representation of Michael. He looks different on every card in this deck. But he's painting a picture of this horse. And that makes me think of something that Leo Buscaglia says about paint a new picture. If you don't like the picture that you're in, paint a new one. And the thing is, you can only start to paint a new one if you allow yourself to have that vision first. Having that vision is part of changing the energy to change your situation. Take time off and make the primary goal, even if it's just for a couple of hours, I'm going to make myself comfortable. I'm going to make myself some tea or something, or preferably go outside, get lost in the sounds of nature. Even if, you're in a concrete jungle and you got to look at just the one tree that's got the gates around it. Focusing on that tree. Or like Secret Shaman Oracle says, if you can't get into nature at all, look at pictures of nature. Just have something in front of you that's nature, that doesn't have man's thumbprint all over it. And allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to get back into that child mind when anything was possible. And remember what it is that child wanted before anybody told that child that what that child wanted was impossible. You deserve that wish. Let yourself think of it and let yourself see yourself having it. And then carry forth the rest of your day or evening, holding in mind you deserve that. And further, you will have it. Stay in that energy, that knowing that you deserve it and that you will have it. You will have that happiness. You will have that wish. And I just got another confirmation from the fridge, so it seems like it's worth doing. I really hope this was helpful. Love and light.